Okay, so now in this segment, I'd like to turn to our second myth about Shiva, which tells the story of the birth of Ganesha, this very popular elephant headed god who you might have already seen in TV shows like The Simpsons or The Family Guy. You might also know this story that we're about to see as well. Parvati, Shiva's wife, wants to take a bath, but she doesn't want anyone to come intrude on her privacy as she's doing it. So she makes a little boy out of the dirt from her own body. She really needs a bath. She brings this boy to life through her creative energies, and she tells him to keep watch and don't let anyone in while she's taking her bath. But Shiva then tries to go and find his wife in the bath. Ganesha stops him. Eventually, after a lot of fighting back and forth, in this version, actually, there's some cunning help of Vishnu as well. Shiva decapitates Ganesha, not realizing it's his own son. Parvati finds out, she gets super angry, she unleashes out of her anger a large number of goddesses that come out of Parvati, the different manifestations of Shakti. These Shaktis start to tear the universe apart. To try to calm her down, to propitiate her, Shiva tells the gods first to go and find the first body they find and bring back the head. The gods go out and find an elephant. They bring back the head. Shiva attaches the elephant head and reanimates the boy, and that's how Ganesha gets his elephant head. Let's see how some of this myth at least plays out in the text of the Shiva Purana. Once upon a time, while Parvati was taking a bath, the always auspicious Shiva threatened Nandi, the bull who was guarding her door, and went into the house. When that lovely woman, the mother of the world, saw Shankara, Shiva, arrive so unexpectedly, she stood up embarrassed. She then starts to think that she needs a servant of her own, right? Someone loyal to her and not like Nandi is, not like loyal just to Shiva. He's useless, I guess, to keep him from coming in. Thinking these thoughts, the goddess fashioned from the dirt of her body a young man who possessed all these good characteristics. He was handsome, flawless of limb, sturdy, well adorned, most valorous and strong. She gave him various garments, abundant ornaments, and an incomparable blessing. "You are my very own son," she said. "I have no one else here who is mine alone." At her words, the youth bowed and said to Parvati, "What task have you found for me? I shall do as you tell me." Thus addressed, Parvati answered her son, "Dear son, here are my words. From now on you shall be my doorkeeper. You are my very own child. I have no one whatsoever here but you who belongs to me. Let no one enter my house without my permission, my son, no matter who, no matter where. Use force if necessary, dear son. I mean this truly." And so speaking, she gave him a hard stick. Gazing at his handsome body, she was thrilled with delight. She then kissed his face lovingly, embraced him with affection, and stationed him, staff in hand, at her door as chief of her Ganas. After she had put her son Ganesha, lord of the Ganas, in front of her door, Parvati herself remained inside to bathe with her companions. At that moment, Shiva, skilled in various sports, arrived eagerly at the door. Not knowing he was Lord Shiva, Ganesha said, "You may not enter here, Lord, without permission of my mother, who is inside bathing. Where do you think you're going? Get out at once." Saying this, Ganesha brandished his staff to stop Shiva. Looking at him, Shiva said, "You silly fool. Who are you to keep me out? Don't you recognize me, stupid? I am none other than Shiva himself." But Ganesha struck the great lord of so many sports with his stick. This infuriated Shiva, who said once again to his son, "You're an imbecile not to know me. I'm Shiva, husband of Parvati, the daughter of the mountain. I shall go into my own house, idiot. Why are you standing in my way?" Shiva eventually sends his gangsters, his minions, who are called the Ganas, to go and deal with this Ganesha fellow. They accost Ganesha, they try to browbeat him, they threaten to bust him up, right? But the boy shows no fear and refuses to budge. Orders are clear, right? Nobody gets in. Shiva now says something really interesting that's worth noting. This is another one of these breakout moments I've been talking about where the message is targeting the Puranic devotional audiences who are listening to the stories. Listen, all you Ganas. It's not right to go to battle over this, for you are my Ganas, and that other Gana belongs to my wife, Gauri. This is Shiva talking, right? On the other hand, if I back down, people might say Shiva is always cowed by his wife. It's a weighty matter to know the right thing to do. The Gana by himself is only a mere child. What power could he possibly have? Moreover, Ganas, you are the experts in battle, and you belong to me. Why should you avoid a fight and therefore become useless to me? Now check this next part out. How can that woman be so obstinate, especially to her husband? It's she who is responsible for this. Now Parvati will reap the fruit of her action. Listen carefully to what I say, O my heroes. Wage all-out war. Let it come out as it will. So, after this kind of, I don't know, sexist banter, maybe, Shiva dispatches his gangsters, these Ganas, and they attack Ganesha. It turns into quite a fascinating battle, actually. Ganesha managed to defeat all of Shiva's assistants, these minions, these Ganas. Shiva gets kind of depressed, maybe, at this point. He loses his confidence. He feels like he needs a trick. He's got to do some kind of ruse to defeat this little boy, this Ganesha. So he brings he brings Vishnu out to the battlefield to help him out. Here's what Vishnu says to Shiva. You shall kill your enemy, O Lord, but not without trickery, for he's hard to reach and full of tamas, full of darkness. I shall create a delusion. Vishnu distracts Ganesha as he's fighting with Shiva and gets the boy to throw his club at him, at Vishnu. When he does, he shatters the club with his discus weapon that he's got. Then check out what happens next. Once again, the choicest hero, the mighty son of Shakti, recalling her, took up his matchless staff and struck Vishnu with it. Unable to withstand the blow, Vishnu fell to the ground. But he sprang up at once and battled again with Parvati's son. Seeing his opportunity at last, the trident-wielding Shiva took his stand in the north and cut off the head of Ganesha with his trident. When Ganesha lost his head, both the army of the Ganas and the army of the gods stood stock still, rooted in the earth. Now, after Ganesha's killed, everyone has kind of a huge celebration, right? They win the war. But Parvati gets furious, right? And she's miserable, she's depressed at the death of her only child. She gets angry, she vows to wreak utter havoc, she vows to bring about the end of the world. Grieving in this manner, the great goddess, enraged, fashioned in an instant hundreds of thousands of Shaktis, or powers. Once created, they bowed to the mother of the world, they blazed forth and said, "O mother, tell us what to do." At their words, Parvati, the Shakti of Shiva, full of fury, answered them all. O Shaktis, goddesses, you are to annihilate this world without a moment's pause. My companions, devour with the vengeance the gods, the sages, the yakshas, the rakshasas, my very own followers, and all the rest as well. So you can see what happens if you anger a goddess, right? She releases her energies that start to consume the whole world in their fiery rage. Good advice, don't anger goddesses. They start swallowing up over 1 million gods, and so on. Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, all the others get together and try to figure out what to do. But even Shiva can't really make heads or tails of it. The divine sage Narada now comes and tells them that they have to go and ask the goddess for mercy, right? Just ask her for mercy. They do that. They worship her as the fierce deity Chandika. Be content, be serene, glory be to you. They tell her, the triple world is destitute because of your rage. They beg her forgiveness and they ask for peace. And then she says, if you can revive my son, I'll stop my devastation. If you honor him, make him overseer of everything, then there will be peace in this world. In no other way will you be happy again. They go back to Shiva and they tell him what she said, the ultimatum, right? Shiva then says, do whatever is necessary to benefit these worlds. Go north, cut off the head of whomever you first encounter. After doing that, join that head to Ganesha's body. They go out looking for the candidates, but the first thing they actually meet with is an elephant with a single tusk. Taking its head, all the deities fastened it firmly to the body of Ganesha. Worshipping Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, they bowed and they said, we have done as you told us, now you must finish the task. And the gods and the attendants beamed with happiness at these words, having obeyed the command of Shiva. Then they say to the Shiva, since all of us were born from your tejas, your energy, let your energy, your tejas, enter this body by means of the recitation of Vedic mantras. Calling Shiva to mind, they sprinkled blessed holy water on the corpse while reciting mantras. At the mere touch of the drops of water, Ganesha regained consciousness and life. The boy arose by Shiva's wish, as though from sleep. He was handsome, noble, and resplendent, with a pleasing shape, a jolly manner, and a ruddy elephant head. And everyone rejoiced, their sorrows banished, at the sight of Parvati's son restored to life. Filled with happiness, they showed him the goddess. When she saw her son alive, she too was quite overcome with joy. Well, it's quite a story, isn't it? It certainly gets into that kind of violent, fiery side of both Shiva and the goddess in particular, and also gives a nice illustration of how despite their differences, Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, all three sort of work together as a trinity in the popular Hindu mythological world. Anyway, we'll stop here with our kind of storytelling sessions. When you're done looking around the rest of the Shiva temple over there, meet me over at the side entrance next to the gift shop maybe for our final segment where we'll wrap up our discussion on Shaivism by looking at early Shaiva thought and practices. See you.